So as I've said a couple of times in my videos, that often when my clients come to see me, anxiety is what they're feeling up front, and that's not nice. But actually sometimes, like in pressure cooker anxiety, it can be a useful way of them not feeling some other feelings, some of the sadness, anger and fear that are associated with experiences that they've had in the past, maybe from when they were very, very little, maybe from when they were not so long ago. And part of the reason that people often don't want to experience those feelings is because they're very distressing. They're so distressing that often people will come in and say things like, if I start crying, I don't know if I'll ever stop. Or if I really lose my temper, I could be incredibly destructive, like there's this volcano inside of me. Or like, if I start to contact this fear that I've got, the thing that I'm scared of will genuinely happen, and it will really hurt me or kill me or something awful like this. So these feelings are really powerful, and to allow ourselves to feel them feels really distressing. So we often end up doing something different instead, like being anxious or being withdrawn or distracted or, you know, something different. So there's this thing. It's called the paradox of distress. And what it means is that when people decide to do something different, when they decide to take a different path with their anxiety and their feelings, and instead of trying to get rid of it, hate it, just want to get it off me, like it's some kind of dirty, smelly, horrible onesie that I just want to unzip and take off and step out of and have it be chucked on a bonfire and never see it again. When we stop trying to do that and we turn to face these feelings, little by little, as we start to feel them, they are indeed distressing. We might have a cry. We might feel a bit scared. We might feel angry and get tense and a bit wound up. We might, for sure. And in my therapy room, that's a very safe space to feel those feelings. But the paradox of distress means that when we start to feel these in a safe space for maybe 1 hour a week with your therapist, that the amount of distress that you feel in the rest of the week decreases. And actually, by feeling those feelings more regularly in a controlled space and time with somebody who knows what they're doing, that distress can drop quite significantly, and all kinds of other exciting benefits can come from that. There's a load of research from the American Psychological Association that I'll chuck up in the notes to go with this video, but that say that everything from reduced levels of distress as a baseline of distress, to improved immune system functioning, to improved role performance. So that means you become better at your job, or you become better at being a mum or a dad or a husband or a wife, or whatever you see your role as, that by feeling those feelings a bit more, your performance in that increases. And my biggie that you will have heard of me talk about a couple of times on videos is that the more we feel the unpleasant, the less comfortable, the distressing feelings, the more joy that we feel. This is my little tap for joy, and that gets me really excited, because it's not true that once we start feeling this stuff it'll never stop. It's not true that if you start crying you'll never stop. It's not true that if you make contact with the anger or rage inside you, you will do something destructive and end up being a bad person. And it is not true that if you feel the fear, the thing that you're scared of will get you. These are really strongly held beliefs, but they're still just beliefs. That doesn't necessarily make them true. So a lot of what I do here with my clients is in a safe and patient way, at their own pace, is invite them to do something slightly different. Instead of trying to reject all feelings and lose joy and intimacy and love and compassion in there as well, instead of them reject all feelings, let's, in a controlled, measured and safe way, start to feel some and reap all of those really exciting benefits that come from that process.